you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Friday, and not only is it Happy Friday, it's also Happy Good Friday. So for everybody out there who celebrates Good Friday, I was about to say Happy Friday again, who celebrate Good Friday and Easter, happy holidays to you. I know a lot of people get Good Friday off at work, so some of y'all might have a 3-day weekend, which is really, really cool. Ain't nothing like having that 3, 4, or 5-day weekend around the holidays. But I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Friday and looking forward to a great weekend. I am actually this Sunday for Easter. I usually, before my sons got jobs that work on almost every holiday, I usually like cook on each holiday, including Easter for them. Now I mainly do like the summer holidays, but so I normally go to my godmoms on like a Easter, but I'm sure I can still maybe get there depending on how the rest of my day goes. But I'm planning to meet up with one of my homegirls and her family and a few of her other friends, and we're going to go to a steakhouse on Easter. So that's what we plan to do. And then after that, we're going to kick it and go back to the house and chill and have drinks and, all that kind of stuff. That's what we plan to do. I don't want to cook. I just want to chill. I just want to relax and things like that. So, but as far as my godmom, I'm sure I'll probably still find time to go over there and kick it with her, my god sisters and all of them. But, yeah. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. Hey, Simply and Sarah, how you doing? You say, hey, hood table. Hope you're having a blessed Good Friday. Yes, I actually am. I've been over here doing a little cleaning up. All day I've been getting orders from Walmart and also from Amazon. So I've been breaking down boxes. Our trash pickup is on Friday. So this week was trash and recycle. So literally after they came and picked up everything, I brought the trash can and the recycle can back to inside my gate, and I literally filled up the recycle can within like 20 minutes. So, and we only get those every 2 weeks, the recycle pickups. So I have to wait 2 more weeks for, to get the trash emptied by the city. Or I can just throw some boxes and stuff like that, of course, in the regular trash. But I try to do my best to recycle, for the world. That's my one gift to the world, to recycle. Okay, that's about all I can do. You said same here. Yeah, and I still got packages coming today, but usually when I get a whole bunch of packages and I have no more recycle room in my recycle trash can, I just stack them up nice and neat somewhere in my laundry room or somewhere, so they're out the way, until I can put them back in the recycle once it's get empty. But yeah, so I hope everybody is having a good day. I did hear you guys that Nest No Mess is back. And Nest No Mess is now Nest No Flesh. Child, I went over to Nest No Flesh. You see, Lemon done changed his name to Jordan Dash. Nest No Mess done changed her name to Nest No Flesh. But the difference here, so far, the difference here that I see, Lemon changed his name, not behavior. It actually got worse. Nest No Mess, just what I can see so far. She is over there. I don't want to call it preaching down, but she's over there giving a word on, Good Friday. she's giving a good old Good Friday word over there, and she's talking about how God has changed her life and how, having the Holy Spirit, she thought she was, close to God before in the past, but now she really knows that she's really close to God and, the Holy Spirit and things like that. She'd be getting messages and signs and, word from God and things like that. And, she's just talking about this spiritual journey that she's been on while she's been MIA. And, a lot of people been wondering, how she's doing. And I just mentioned that the other day. I hope all is well. I mean, she came back. She's over there. I mean, she's giving a word. She's talking. It's like the whole show is like surrounded by God and Jesus and God, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, and being a good person and a better person. And she's talking about her weight loss journey as well. She's been losing weight. She says she's not ready to come on camera yet. That'll be coming soon. But yeah, definitely if y'all follow Ness and didn't know that she's back, she is back. Matter of fact, she did 2 videos, but one of them got removed or deleted, or maybe she put it on private. I don't know. But the one that I saw was still up. And so I went over there and I was like, whoa. All y'all other people over here who be trying to preach and give a sermon, get a good word, y'all better watch out. I was like, I ain't never heard Ness speak like that before. And in the other times where she has taken a hiatus to either go to rehab or whatever, coming back still, I've never heard her talk like that before. I'm like, is this Ness? Is this the same Ness? Like, I don't know. Can the real Ness please stand up? Child. But also, before I get into my celebrity tea, well, T.S. Madison is a celebrity. Michelle Atlien, some would consider semi-celebrity. She mixes and mingles with, a lot of celebrities down there in the A. Well-known talk show, well-known podcast, well-known website. She's well-known, pretty popular. But before I get into that, also, we got an appearance from, you said, so she's been touched by the spirit, or is it all fish? I don't know. That's why I said so far she is acting different, sounding different. She didn't come on cam, but she did say she lost some weight, stuff like that. So I don't know. We gonna have to see, Zasara. We are going to have to see, child. We're gonna have to see. But also, who else made an appearance was April. One side, April made an appearance. She was over there with Shelly, I believe, and I didn't watch the video. I just heard, what had went on, and she allegedly, before, like, I don't know how many months ago, but she had came live. Was it on Jay Wilson's panel where on-site April had said she was pregnant and she showed us her baby bump, and a lot of people was like, child, she ain't pregnant, she lying. A lot of people accuse on-site April telling lies, false activities, whatever you want to call it, over the years. And some people was calling her a liar. Some people still think she lying, even about what she said, the other day. When she hit the panel the other day, she said she was pregnant, even though a lot of people's like, damn, just like her and Dory, shouldn't they have had their babies by now? Shouldn't Onside have had her baby? And shouldn't Dory and Simon have had their baby by now? But Dory and them, I really don't believe that they got a baby on the way. I don't even think they have. Anyway, Okay, anyway, as far as on-site April, she said she was pregnant, but she said she lost it. And if she really did lose it, my condolences. My condolences. It's just it's really hard sometimes to take people for their word these days on YouTube. So I take some things that people say, I sometimes take as a grain of salt. Take with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? But she did say she lost her baby. And then she said she broke up with the baby daddy because she found out that he was a homosexual. She said, I could not believe that she said that on the panel. I cannot believe. I don't think that shit right there would go to the grave with me. That's just me. That's just me. That shit would go to the grave if I found out that my baby daddy or my man was actually a homosexual and maybe he was just using me as a beard or I don't know. I don't know because being that he was with her, on the outside looking in, one might think that he maybe is bisexual, but she said he was gay. She didn't say he was bisexual, which is a little bit confusing because guys who are gay, they usually just mess with, males or, even like if it's a trans male, sometimes, I don't want to get all into the logistics and the dynamics of that community because I don't know everything. I watched T.S. Madison, which we gonna get into in a minute, but I don't know all the dynamics, right? But you said I hope she has grown because she was an idiot before. Oh, was it Sarah? You said yes, it was nice to see her. It's been ages. Did she have a baby? Nope. I feel for her. She lost her grown son not long ago. I don't think April would lie about that. She's very fertile too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. She said she did. So if she did, my condolences to her losing her baby. But yeah, she said she lost her baby. But the gag again, a lot of people is like, okay, ask April. We don't want to get you into an emotional, situation here because it did sound like the part that I did see, it did sound like she was getting a little emotional talking about that. And then she switched over to, talking about her baby daddy was gay. And so that's why she left him. And so a lot of people's like, oh, sorry, April, we just want to talk about that nigga that you said was gay. We gonna leave the other stuff alone because that's a very sensitive topic. We don't want to get you in your feelings and emotional. But what about this gay ass baby daddy though? Hey, Sally O'Malley. You said the hood table don't try and figure out crazy. April's next story will be more wild. Child. I was listening to ODS over there and he was like, boy, he said her lives just get more and more wilder, more and more something. I forgot what ODS said exactly, but I was in ODS chat earlier and he had a good live over there too. He was on his lunch break or about to take his lunch break from work and I don't eat oysters, but the way he was making the oysters sound no good and tasty and delicious that he had tried the other day. Child, I don't know. Next time I'm around his way, I might have to try that spot because I really don't. I tried them before and it's like a no go, child. It's a no go. You said I believe Dory really wants to be in a real situation with Simon, but I don't know if he is really serious about her. They both attention seekers. I thought she was with Kiki baby daddy still. That's what I thought. So she's no longer with Kiki's baby daddy. Child, what's up, Jasmine? Hey, Jasmine MTV, how you doing? You guys make sure you like and share the video on the way in. We about to get into our real content, okay? But yes, we are also on the road to 9K. So again, I appreciate it if you guys can please like and share the video to get us in the algorithm, help us get to that 9K. We got 2 celebrations coming up. One of them is going to be for me and Big Riggs show, from the block to the hood table that Riggs and I do every other Sunday. We're not doing it this Sunday because it's Easter. So next Sunday, it'll be on my show, on my platform next Sunday. And then after that, it'll be on his platform the following Sunday. And then that'll end season 2. And then after that, we're going to take a little hiatus. We're going to take a little break. And then when we come back, that'll start season 3. And when season 3 start back, we are going to have a celebration, and we're going to be giving back to our supporters. So we're going to be having, prizes, cash, everything from prizes to actual merch, and also cash apps. So that'll be, that's what's up. That's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be making t-shirts. I'm going to be making coffee mugs because y'all know I'm a t-shirt designer and I can make coffee mugs and all that stuff. And also I make t-shirts. And as most of y'all know, I'm also a professional custom cake decorator. Your girl, got several strings of income on here, okay? And she still got a main job. So don't ask me how I do it all, but I like to stay busy and I like to make money and I like to be creative. I have a little creative niche in my soul. So that's what I like to do. So we're gonna have a celebration for that when season 3 of From the Block to the Hood Table starts back up. And then also once we hit the 9K, like I said, once I hit 9K, I'm going to be having a celebration for that as well. So again, please make sure you like to share the video on the way in. Now, let me read some of your comments before I get into this celebrity tea. You said, hi, Sally. I don't know. I avoid her. I don't know. I avoid her, to be honest. Child, I be trying to stay in my lane. I just be trying to get commentary and try my best to stay in my lane and try my best to be non-biased. It's hard sometimes, but I try. I try. Not donkeys. I know they call her a horse, but not donkeys. Oh Lord, they called her a donkey. Okay, so let's get into this first conversation. As far as like T.S. Madison and ATLian. Now, if you guys been following them for quite some time, Maddie, which is T.S. Madison, she has been out there and well known and popular before she even got on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because she used to do porn. She used to do porn. Well, she used to be a prostitute. She used to be a streetwalker down there in Florida. And then, as a prostitute, making money. She then started doing her own, not working for somebody else doing porn, but making her own porn videos. And it was called BigDickBitches.com. I don't know if any of y'all heard about that. And if you do, I'm not going to ask you how you found out about it. But I personally didn't find out about bigdickbitches.com until I started following, T.S. Madison on YouTube. But before that, she was still very popular. Before Michelle Atlien came on YouTube, she was very popular, mainly in her state, her city of, Atlanta. Thus her nickname, her business name, ATLian, because she's from the A. But she was really popular, mingling with stars and the things, down there, the celebrity stars and other people, rappers and stuff down there in the A. But they both eventually, including Kaya. Kaya, we always know Kaya, my neck and my back Kaya. She was also very popular back in the day, mainly because of that song, My Neck, My Back, My Crack. Okay. So, a lot of us are already familiar with all three of them. So back in the day, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I remember this just like it was yesterday. T.S. Madison, Kaya, they joined together and created the Queen's Court. Michelle Atlien had some issues with, T.S. Madison over some controversial things that, Michelle was always talking about her. She was always talking about her. Then the thing with Kaya and the court issues, because Kaya felt like, T.S. Madison was basically trying to copyright the name of their show without Kaya's name on it. And so they have separated. We remember all that. People started doing commentary. It eventually formed a lot of us into what we call now the beefing sector, right? So, but back in the gap, Michelle had teamed up with Kaya, was supporting her, basically supporting her and Josh, Michelle's good friend Josh. And so they had started supporting Kaya, when they was, all going to court together. They was supporting each other really. Michelle was trying to get like a civil restraining order. Excuse me. They were trying to get a restraining order. Conyers judge. This was back in 2018. Now, a lot of people, when they discuss like when the B sector began, they say like 2017, 16, 18. So this is kind of right in that spectrum, right? So Michelle Atlien, back on April 11, 2018, she had her day in court and she wanted a restraining order, from T.S. Madison. And I'm gonna just read you a little bit, read you a little piece from what happened or what went down, and make sure you guys again liking and sharing the video, please, and thank you very much. So I thought I turned my hold on. I thought I turned my thing off on my phone. Okay. I don't want y'all any distractions. Okay. So in 2018, in April, a Conyers judge granted a 12-month mutual civil restraining order between bloggers Michelle Atlien Brown and the local drag queen transgender T.S. Madison and rapper Kaya Finch. The women filed a restraining order against T.S. Madison after T.S. threatened physical violence against them online. All three were ordered not to have any contact. And we remember this, like some of us who were there, we remember this very vividly because we were like, damn, the judge just said leave each other the fuck alone. And it kind of reminded me of the shit with Spilling Boy with Trezor when he and old girl went to court, and the judge was basically like, just leave each other alone. So that's what the judge did back then too. It was in 2018, and I think this was pretty early on when bloggers and stuff was taking each other to court. So anyway, the judge had basically said, don't have any contact or communication directly or via social media or on the internet. And T.S. Madison had already violated the judge's order right after that by posting a copy of the court document on IG, which mentioned Michelle's name. After the courtroom drama, Michelle, Kaya, and Michelle's friend Joshua, they met for lunch to discuss the proceedings. During the often contentious hearing, the judge threatened T.S. Madison after his numerous outbursts in court. At one point, the judge snatched a cell phone from one of T.S. Madison's associates who was recording the proceeding without authorization. You ain't supposed to record in court. You know that, right? Unless you got special permission, like if you are with the news crew and you got special permission to be there, right? But anyway, Michelle, they said, did an excellent job acting as her own attorney in court. She cross-examined T.S. Madison on the witness stand, and she forced T.S. to admit that his manager, y'all remember Giovanni Mack, did post Michelle's phone number online. Do y'all remember that shit? Oh my God. Because when T.S. Madison gave the information to Gio, when Gio gave the information to T.S. Madison, they posted it. It had Michelle's phone number on there. And Michelle had reached out to Gio and was like, why y'all put my phone number on that information? You need to take that down. It stayed up there for quite some time. And then they finally took it down. But during the cross-examination of the hostile witness, Madison asked the judge to order Michelle to stop calling him Mr. Hinton. Ooh, child. You know what Michelle been calling her since then? Mr. Man Hands. Okay? Mr. Man Hands. Instead of calling T.S. Madison or Maddie, Michelle Atlien has always called Maddie Mr. Man Hands. But the judge was like, I can't force nobody to call you a he, a she, a they, a them, a what, a it, a nothing. Okay, nothing. The judge said no. Because forcing Michelle to call Madison anything other than the government name, which is Mr. Timothy Hinton, would violate Michelle's freedom of speech rights. And that is the thing that a lot of people in the community deal with when it comes to their genders that they want to be referred to as, because they can request it. And some of us might be like, okay, if you want to be a trans or you want to be called a he or she or whatever, I will, do that for you. I'm like that. I'll do that. I don't care. If you want me to call you she, I'm gonna call you she. A he, I'm gonna call you he. But you can't force people to call you what you want to be called, especially even if you feel all your life that you were the opposite sex. You know what I'm trying to say without getting too far into it. But yeah. So basically the judge was like, nope, that'll take away her freedom of speech. So the best thing people can do if don't nobody want to like when remember when Maddie was telling us about her father? Back in the day, she had to sit down with her father. Remember that time when she went home and she sat down with her father and they was on the chair, like on a couch or something, and they were talking to each other. And she was telling him how she felt about the way that he don't respect what she wants to be and, who she is and, respect her by her gender. And they had a real, real deep conversation about that shit. And he was like, I'm going to do my best. And, I don't know how it is now or what happened after that. But I remember that episode on T.S. Madison's YouTube channel. But anyway, the judge also told Maddie that he couldn't force Michelle to refer to him in feminine pronouns like she, her, The judge did allow Michelle to continue referring to Madison as Mr. Hinton. And when Madison insisted on calling Michelle by her first name, the judge admonished her, saying, "We're going to be respectful. That's Mrs. Brown." Okay. And so, yeah, so that's a little background on, them going to court, back in the day. And then in July of 2020, 2 years after a judge slapped a restraining order on T.S. Madison, he is still harassing the bullying blogger, Michelle Atlien, on social media. On July 2nd, Michelle explained the drama that began after the breakup of the Queen's Court YouTube series, with Kaya and Maddie. When Madison assumed Michelle had something to do with breaking up Maddie and Kaya as a team. She always insinuated that she thought Michelle had something to do with that. And Maddie said, I've always been harassed. No, I'm sorry. Michelle said, I've always been harassed, doxxed, and bullied by Maddie and all Maddie gang supporters that they call the Maddie Mob for reporting on the breakup, and the bullying continued after, the restraining order. Michelle said, my only recourse over the years has been speaking up for myself, as TS has gone on a various platforms showing their disdain for women. Now, Miss ATL and Michelle has always said over the years that she feels like Maddie does not like women, even though Maddie continuously over the years have said that she does. And she always refers to her mother and, different people in her life that she really respect, and she says she really do respect women. That's just, their words, not mine. But also Maddie appeared on Tasha K's podcast with Storm Monroe in a video titled Exclusive. T.S. Madison finally confirms beef with Kaya, Gio, Michelle, and more, part 1, to continue the harassment against Michelle. Now, the drama has started again. This was back in 2020, and we're going to leave that up to the new drama. So the drama back in 2020 has started up again after Michelle reported on the Lovely T.I. and B. Simone drama. Maddie went on the platform on YouTube with a screenshot of Michelle. Y'all know that image, right? Y'all know that image, right? And they put like a Gary Coleman type of face on Michelle ATLN because Maddie has said over the years that, Michelle looks like Gary Coleman, and, their features are, well, anyway. No shade, no tea. But anyway, yeah, so she was like, they bearing the likeness of Gary Coleman and proceeded to drag her for 2 hours. And she said, when does it end? So that's a little bit of background on the situation with T.S. Madison and, Michelle Atlien Brown. So now recently it struck a match again under them flames. Oh, Lord. Now, see, this is where it kind of confuses me as well, because I do understand the importance of trying to, keep your content to yourself, because a lot of people like Maddie don't work like no 9 to 5. She don't work for nobody else but herself. Every stream of income she's get is as an entrepreneur. She's her own boss. She works for herself. So YouTube is one of, if not, one of several of the biggest money streams for her. She makes a lot of money on YouTube. She has a lot of subscribers, has a lot of members. And so I'm pretty sure that's a very important stream of income for her. So I do understand how people are like, I'm gonna strike you if you use my shit, right? But over the years, we have seen both of them use each other's shit. So so what happened recently was Michelle Atlien. She had got wind that Maddie had used a clip from her video. And I think it was like over a minute or something. But Maddie didn't like talk through it, or how some people, they give commentary. She said they just posted the video. Widescreen, full screen, just posted the video, let the video play, and Maddie didn't give any commentary. And when you use people's content and you want to try to claim, that you have rights to use that, hold on, I'm gonna show you what we put up. You said it's not my favorite film, but I'll be honest. Oh Lord. Okay. So this is what we generally put up when we are using other people's content, right? This is what some people use. Copyright disclaimer in the section that I like to use this when I do like my reviews on the news and stuff like that. Y'all know I don't take people's YouTube videos. I don't do that. People have gave me permission without me even asking. Girl, use my video and do some content on this. I want to hear what you think. I don't take people video footage, from YouTube. I just don't. Never have, and I won't start. But yeah, I definitely will see something on the news and discuss it and show the news clip and put up this copyright disclaimer. But when you're like really reviewing or doing commentary on somebody's content, especially from YouTube, you are supposed to, stop every now and then and speak on it or whatnot. But still, that doesn't always make it fair use. It doesn't always make it fair use. That's up to YouTube to decide if they are going to say, yeah, they're using your shit. It's a copyright, strike. Or no, we don't see that, so it's up to YouTube. And basically Michelle Atlien struck Maddie's video. And then Maddie, from what I heard, appealed it. That's what I heard. Michelle ATLian said if Maddie appeals it and if Maddie wins, she's going to appeal again. Now, I've never went into a back and forth with appealing or anything like that on YouTube. So I don't know how many times the person with whose actual content it is can appeal. So maybe it's like I strike, they appeal, YouTube gives them the video back, and I strike again, and then YouTube makes a second decision. I don't know if that's the end. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that they can take you to court too. So I do know that. We didn't see people go to court over YouTube. I hate when stuff like that get too far, but it happens, right? It happens. But anyway, and again, please make sure you guys like and share the video because we are on the road to 9K. So let me take that down. So basically, it's up and it's stuck. T.S. Madison, she went live and she was like, "Oh, that's fucked up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You've been using my content over the years." As a matter of fact, A.T. Alien has used she has made 30 YouTube videos, which includes clips from T.S. Madison. Sorry about that, y'all. I am back. I am back. No, the I was just saying before the sound went out that my lights had just blinked on and off. It's raining here, but it ain't raining that hard, so I don't know why the lights have blinked on and off. And I just said, well, it looks like the Wi-Fi is still working, and it just like literally went out. It had to reboot, so the Wi-Fi, the power went out for like it wasn't even like a whole 2 seconds. But anyway, I guess, when it goes off, the Wi-Fi totally disconnects and it has to reboot. But that's crazy. I'm gonna have to call the electric company and find out what's going on. Because again, it happened the other day too, and it was just for like 2 seconds. And my baby was over here, and I was like, man, if the power goes out for good, I definitely gotta have, my son come pick him up because I ain't about to have no baby over here, not my grandbaby, running around this mug in the dark, talking about why he can't watch this at hand. So, evidently, there's 30 videos over there on Michelle Atlien channel that she used clips from T.S. Madison, right? But just recently, she struck T.S. Madison for using a clip of hers. So, in situations like that, this is just me. Okay, y'all can say what y'all think. But in situations where you are taking somebody else's content and using it and giving commentary on it, then they take your content and do the same thing. Why would you strike them if you're doing what you're striking them for? And so it looks pretty suspect to a lot of people on the outside looking in because Michelle Atlien, how a lot of us have playlists. I did like TV shows on, oh my God, probably over 50, 60, 70 TV shows, over the years. And I have them on different playlists. So Michelle, I guess she had, certain things dealing with T.S. Madison in a playlist. And there was over 30 videos. So what Michelle did after she struck T.S. Madison for playing a clip from her video, Michelle took all those videos and she took them off the playlist. So when you remove them from the playlist, it just goes back to, you got to manually look. You got to manually try to find, any video that might have some of T.S. Madison content on Michelle Atlien. So she made it harder. She even came live the other day. And she was like, people are coming at me. People are in my chat. People are dragging me talking about why you hide the playlist. Why you going to strike T.S. Madison and you got her content on your videos. But then you remove the playlist to make it harder for T.S. Madison to find the videos to strike her for using their shit. So Michelle came live and said, I'm not going to make it easy. Yes, I did remove it from the playlist. I'm not going to make it easy for him to find out which videos I might have had his footage in. Now, some people might say, well, that's not playing fair. That's what, some people are saying. That's not playing fair. Me personally, if I'm using somebody's YouTube content footage on my video and they're not bothering me about it, I'm not going to strike them when they start doing that to me. Now, see, the thing about it was Michelle Atlien was being dragged. From what I heard, Michelle Atlien was being dragged by T.S. Madison. And that's why Michelle struck T.S. Madison. Because not only was T.S. playing a clip of Michelle's, but was also dragging her in the process. So it's okay to use T.S. Madison's footage. And it's okay if T.S. Madison use your footage if she's not dragging you. Like if T.S. Madison would have used Michelle's footage, which wasn't that long and wasn't dragging her, would Michelle have left it alone? I'm not sure. Probably so, because the only reason why Michelle got wind of it anyway, because she was being dragged and somebody hit her up, said, he's over there playing your content and, whatever. And so that's how she found out. But, me personally, being that the history that they have together with a judge says specifically in 2018, do not put each other's names in each other's mouths. Don't say they name, don't say they name, don't say they name, don't put it on social media, not on your TV shows, not in your articles, on your websites. Don't speak on each other at all. That's what the judge said in 2018. But of course, over the years, Oh, it's been, you know, tat 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 tat. The back and forth, all through the years. They might got nicknames for each other. Like I think Maddie calls Michelle Magilla Gorilla. That's one of the names that Maddie calls Michelle Atlien Magilla Gorilla, and then Michelle, of course, calls Maddie Mister Manhands. So they use the nicknames and shit like that, over the years. But they still have been going at each other over the years. And being that the judge said for y'all not to speak on each other or, bother each other, why would you want to use their content anyway? Why would you want to use their content anyway? I mean, by sure the restraining orders are gone. They have expired because that was 2018. That was quite some time ago. So I'm pretty sure they done expired. I don't think nobody probably picked it back up again. Otherwise, we would have heard about it, right? We would have heard about it. Especially if it's court. Shoot, Michelle, she does be transparent to her supporters. So she would have said, I'm going to court again for this bitch. I'm taking her to court again. And Maddie would have been on here too, talking shit. I see you in court, bitch. So I don't think they ever try to take each other to court again over the years for any of that. But me personally, if I've ever been in court with anyone at all, I am not going to use their commentary. I'm not going to speak on them. I'm not going to fuck with them. I'm not going to bother them. But, you know, some people can't stay away from certain shit because, it's content. It's content. So that's my little 1-2 on that. Y'all can let me know what y'all think, especially my replay gang. Please let me know what you think as well. Of course, the link is dropped, it's pinned if anybody wants to join me after I'm done with my commentary to speak on that or anything else we already discussed so far, which was just B sector stuff in the beginning. Now, last thing I want to talk about, Brandy and Wanya. Oh, Lord. The social media streets have been hot on this topic, y'all. Brandy and Wanya Moore. Now, back in the day, for some of y'all, old heads like me, we remember that relationship. We remember a lot of these sketchy, suspect relationships with these superstars and entertainers, a lot of which were had some age gaps. Okay, we remember this shit, right? And one of them was Brandy and Wanya. But one thing that I talked about before when it comes to celebrities and it comes to them getting caught up or, anybody getting caught up, who's in the limelight and get caught up with younger people. I talked about it before. That was like the skilo for a lot of people back in the day. It was normal. It was fucking normal. I mean, people didn't care. A lot of times, shit, living in the hood, mamas was like, hey, he got a job, he got a car, he got money. Can he help pay my bills too? Don't you get no broke ass nigga. Don't bring no broke ass nigga in this house. He better have some money. Shit, you staying here for free? Get some money from that motherfucker. I ain't gonna hold you. All parents weren't like that back in the day. Not all parents. You know what I'm saying? Some parents, they didn't allow you to date, not even in your own age range. Shit, until you got damn near grown. But when it comes to these situations back then in the 80s and the 90s, it was not like, it was not strange to see a teenage girl dating an older boy, especially in the entertainment industry. And I want to say older boy, but you know what I mean, young man. And so this was the situation with the Aaliyahs. This was the situation with a lot of people back then. And then when it comes to Brandy and Wanya, people didn't really make a big deal of it back then because it was like the norm. Nobody was outraged. Nobody's like, oh my God, okay, now the group Boys to Men got to break up because they're missing, member Wanya Morris because he's in jail facing federal time and da 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 da. Brandy was 16 years old and Wanya was in his early 20s. Now, early 20s, that would probably be about 20 through 23, I would assume. because I don't know exactly how old he was. I didn't even realize that Brandy was 16 when she was dating him, because the thing is, they tried to keep their relationship a secret. And then what they did was they made a plan. Now, of course, this was probably his idea. They made a plan to be fucking around with each other. And then when she turned 18, all of a sudden just let the world know we're in love. We always liked and felt it for each other, but we decided to wait until I turned 18 before we started engaging in an actual real relationship. That's what the plan was. So Brandy wrote a new book, and I think I'm going to have to get this book. It's called Phases. And it speaks about her first relationship with the Boys to Men singer Wanya when she was 16 years old. Now, Brandy wrote in the book that their relationship began in the 90s when Brandy was 16 and Wanya was in his early 20s. They had collaborated on the Grammy-winning singer, songwriter, and actor's hit single Broken Hearted. Y'all remember that video, Broken Hearted? One of my favorites from Brandy. That was from her self-titled album in 94. She wrote that it once started out as a friendship, which quickly turned into romance. She wrote that Wanya started calling and checking on her regularly, becoming a mentor, and I put that in quotes, and providing advice as an anchor, in quotes, and as a confidant, in quotes. Sounds like grooming to me, right? Sounds like grooming. But anyway, he was all that to the rising star. And then after Brandy opened for the group on his world tour, Brandy wrote that the two grew closer. Kind of like what happened with R. Kelly and Aaliyah with her on his tour bus. Now, Brandy said what had happened as admiration had transformed into something else. She wrote, per Entertainment Weekly, it seems to me that he weaponized my admiration, shaped my friendship into dependence, my respect into desire. Grooming much? Grooming much. She says she felt swept up in a current she couldn't control. Brandy wrote that she and Morris had officially established their relationship, but according to her, it also presented many challenges, especially given their age gap and her status as a young teen. She said, I was in over my head. Sneaking around with Wanya and lying to my parents had become a constant. They barely liked the idea of me dating at all, and telling them about us was out of question. Brandy, who is now 47 years old, this is what she had wrote. She continued, but it wasn't just about upsetting or disappointing my parents. She wrote, Wanya and I understood with diamond cut clarity that public knowledge of our relationship would ignite a scandalous, a shame and a scandal, potentially threatening everything we've worked for, his entertainment group, her entertainment group, because her mother was like her manager and everything, right? And so they opted to elaborate fiction. We would pretend patience and claim we were waiting until my 18th birthday before pursuing any romantic connection. Now, of course, many people didn't believe that shit. They didn't believe that shit no more than they believe that R. Kelly did not really marry Aaliyah when she was 16. Or was it 15? I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was 15. Was it 15 or 16? I can't remember shit. It was too young. It was too young. And that's why they had to get that shit annulled. And that's why he ended up paying her mama and her daddy and them. But anywho, she discussed her alleged sexual encounter with Wanya. She wrote that he would emphasize her age at almost every moment they were together. At the time, she wrote, she couldn't understand why he would say that, but she explained all the possibilities and what it could have meant. She said, my girlfriend is 16. She said, I don't remember when he first said it, but those 4 words started rolling off his tongue whenever we were alone, which means that he knew what the fuck he was doing and he knew it was wrong. If he kept saying, my girlfriend is 16 years old. She said, I couldn't tell if this refrain was meant to soothe his own conscience or temper the questions shimmering in my gaze. Perhaps it was a way of tethering himself to a boundary even as he quietly edged past it. Or maybe it was simply a reminder to himself, a whisper to keep the illicit nature of our connection in view. Regardless, I was under the impression that we were madly in love. Or at least that's what I believed. You know, I believed that what was love. This is what love is. At 16. She was 16. Hey, I can remember back when I was 16 and thought I was in love with somebody. And then you grow up. But she said a grown man's version of love designed to serve his own needs. Brandy also wrote that she lost her virginity to Morris. Like many young girls, she envisioned what that special moment would be like, but it was nothing like what she imagined. She wrote that it lacked the specialness I had painted in my mind because it wasn't about me at all. What she sees as the usual rites of passage in adolescence were tainted by the influence of a man who seemed to know exactly how to make me question my own beliefs and boundaries. And I hung in this strange balance. I was navigating that time in a full view of the world, every move scrutinized, every choice dissected by people who didn't know my heart. Part of me wanted to retain some semblance of normalcy, but also I knew full well that what was happening between me and him was wrong. And yet my attitude was, this was special. This is real. People just don't understand. Brandy also discussed being too naive after the alleged sexual encounter and believing that Wanya saw her as a comparable to get what he wanted. Oh, hello. 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 Can we again say grooming? Now we know a lot of men are like that who like to mess with younger girls. It's like they want to see if they can make it happen. They want to see if you'll bite. They want to see it's like kind of like their next victim. It's like a game to them. Some guys are like that. How many virgins can I get? How many underage women can I get? How many young girls can I sway, can I tempt to allow me to touch them? That's the mental of a lot of guys like that. And she said, she basically summed it up right there. She literally summed it up right there. Let me read that again. Brandy discussed being too naive after the alleged sexual encounter and believing that Wanya saw her as conquerable. Can he conquer her? This is Brandy. Around that time, Brandy and Monica, it was a lot of men, boys, women, girls who were probably attracted to them. A lot of guys I know for sure was attracted to Monica and some to Brandy too. So he was like, gosh, can I get her? Can I get her? Yeah, Boys and Men was a shit too. But this is Brandy. You know what I'm saying? And she said, although she initially wanted to wait until marriage, the I Wanna Be Down singer thought sex would make them closer and that she was ready for a real relationship. However, she continued, the truth is, I felt like I had no choice. I felt like saying no meant losing him. I know exactly how that is. And she said over the years, he denied the long-standing rumors that they were dating. Of course he gonna lie because he knows she was underage. And she said, I was 16 dealing with the infidelity of a grown man who I believe had pursued me, took my innocence, and now revealing he'd not been faithful. He wasn't faithful. That's why they broke up. Because she said after he cheated, he described their relationship as the young Ingu, having a schoolgirl crush. He described it as her having a schoolgirl crush on him and getting her heart broke. But now she says he took advantage of me. He still, to this day, would probably still be denying it and probably will still deny it, even if Brandy would or would not have said anything. And I'm going to read this last piece before I allow somebody on here. So please give me 1 second while I read this last sentence. Brandy said the shame ends here. The silence ends here. She said, I was not a fast girl with a crush. I was not a dramatic teenager who couldn't handle rejection. I was not an unstable, obsessed fan. I was a child and he was an adult. And it's time the world understood the difference. Drop the mic. What up, T?
Hey, I just want to say real quick,
Okay, baby.
look up the Breakfast Club interview with Wanya. He admitted it. He admitted everything she's saying, for the most part, in my opinion.
When was this?
It was years ago where he admitted she was young and he slept with her while she was young. That's my opinion. It's like it's not even 2 minutes. Let me see. I can send it to you real quick.
Okay, send it to me, please. I ain't gonna play it. I ain't about to play the Breakfast Club,
Play
but
it in your
I'll
ear.
listen.
It's
Yeah.
I don't even think it's on the Breakfast Club. It's like somebody else's channel where I saw it. Listen
Okay.
to it in your ear and then just talk
Okay.
about it as you listen to it. And then you tell me what you get from it.
Okay. Thank you, baby. I
I'm sending it
appreciate
to
it.
you right now.
Okay. I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that. But she did say in this interview, the interview that she did like a week ago, she did say over the years he had denied the long-standing rumors that they were dating. But she alleged that she endured a lot in their relationship and realized it wasn't true love. And I can empathize with Brandy on this because when I was younger, I told y'all before, I was with some guy, he was older than me. It wasn't right. I was in my naive stages of growing up, a young girl, a teenager, hormones, you know, a lot of girls in my neighborhood, a lot of my friends, they were dating older guys with cars, jobs, money. I mean, the jewelry, the Jordans, the rims, the this, the that, right? And so a lot of times when you're in that age frame and you meet a older guy and you don't know any fucking better, not that you're dumb, but sometimes lust does a thing to us and make us feel like we really are in love. It makes it feel like we really are in love, and guys know how to bring that shit out of us, just like a grown ass man knows how to groom his victims, the ones that he are trying to conquer, knows how to groom them into doing what they want. And sometimes it takes that gaslighting to make a young person believe that they're really in love. Groomers are probably some of the most excellent gaslighters, if you ask me. And she just sent me this video. She said it's 2 minutes, so I'm gonna put mute so I can hear it, but I'm gonna drop the link so y'all can watch it too if y'all haven't. Oh my God, that is so crazy. They he said it grew and then it ungrew. And they said, oh, so that means it squirted and then it unsquirted. Oh my God. Boy, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Basically, I don't believe that every state that they were in, that they were in a state where it was legal. Like, make that make sense. That basically means that wherever you're touring for your tour back then in the day, that means that basically every state that you toured that you wanted to have sex in, you made sure that the legal age of consent was 16. Child, that is crazy. Now, if we believe that every state they went in was a state of legal consent for a 16-year-old, come on now. Come on now. No, I don't. I think he's trying to cover his ass still. And I'm glad Brandy came out with this book called Phases to reveal exactly what happened and how it happened, when it happened, where it happened. And I'm gonna buy that motherfucking book. I'm gonna buy the book. I'll probably buy the if they got the audio, because I prefer audio over reading. I really, really do. I used to read so many books over the year, and I've been working on computers since damn near 18 years old. So I got glasses now. Reading books is not my cup of tea these days. Shit, I'm trying to save the rest of my eyes, okay? And still on the internet all day long, damn near, for work and YouTube and everything else. But yeah, I prefer these days to listen to the audio. And you know, the people that they get to do the readings on these audiobooks, they are really, really good. At least the ones that I get. I wish I could recall the name of the black guy who he does a lot of the readings on a lot of the audiobooks. And oh my God, he really, really, he's really good. He like puts you there. Like you really feel like you're there in the different spaces or the different, the different scenes in the book. It really feels like you're there and you're watching it go down in, real life. But yeah. But yeah, I just listened to a T Danielle and I gave my little commentary a little second ago. But yeah, I dropped the link for other people too if they want to go back and check it out. But yeah, so that's all I got today. I talked about a little B sector shit in the beginning. Ness is back, but it's no longer Ness No Mess. It's now Ness No Flesh. And she is over here doing her religious thing. It reminds me of Phi Babe when she came back and Phi Babe started preaching and teaching and giving sermons. It also reminds me sometimes of when Jay Wilson came back and he would be preaching and teaching and giving sermons. And now we got Ness No Flesh. She is back from a rehab or a spiritual hiatus or whatever, and she is over there preaching and teaching and talking about the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, the church, Mother, God, Mary, Joseph, Jesus. It was crazy. It was crazy. Listening to Ness over there, I was like, who done took Ness and replaced her with this holified woman? It don't even sound like I was listening to Ness. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh wow. If Brandy is the voice in her book, I definitely will buy the audio. I definitely will buy the audio. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me hold up. Amazon, because I'm sure it's on Amazon. And it's called Phase It. Matter of fact, I'm waiting on an Amazon order now. Since I'm in here, let me see if my order is on the way. I already got like 5 orders delivered today. Okay. So my batteries, I ordered some AA batteries and I ordered some Airwicks. Those oils, those mists, those diffusers. I love those things. So they should be here. They said between 5 to 10. Okay. So okay, now let me look up Brandy Phases. Um do I got Prime? Yeah, I got Prime Video, duh. Um hold up. Okay, that's not it. I brought up something else. Is it not on Amazon? Hmm. Okay, where can I purchase it? Brandy Phases book. Oh, okay. I see what I spelled. I'm having a slow moment. Okay. All right. So it says phases $0 when you get the Audible trial. Available instantly. Kindle $14.99, hardcover $22.99. So I'm gonna get the audio. Try standard free. Okay, confirm your standard 30-day free trial. Please choose your payment method. Uh, um, okay. Let me add my payment method. All right, try for free. Order total today $0 because I'm doing a 30-day trial for free for Audible. So do they just send it to my? How do they send it to the email or? Okay. Oh, it says it's in my library. Okay, so I got it. It's in my library. Digital services. Let's see. Audible. Where is it? Um, fuck, I can't find it right now, but it says it's in my library, the book. So I guess that's what I do. Maybe I'll start this evening. Okay, library. Okay, Audible books and okay, I found it. Okay, I found it. So I'll go ahead and maybe check that out. I'm gonna get on here, see if there's any updated or not updated, but if there's any YouTube content creators that went live while I was live, that I want to check out and watch the replay. I'm gonna check that first. I know Sincere Saeda, she was live. It looks like Pizza is live too. So if y'all want to check out Pizza is live. Sincere, I think she's live. You said does your library? Yeah, I think I have to renew my library card though. I think my library card expired and I would have to actually go into the library to renew it. I usually keep my library cards, up to date, but I haven't been to the library, to check out anything, or I haven't checked out anything online either from my library. But yeah, I usually do the audibles from my library too, my local library. So I'm gonna go online to their website and check to see if my library card is still good. If not, I already ordered it from Amazon, and I got the 30-day free trial, so I can always cancel it, before that ends. But anyway, I'm about to get off of here, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We did a little bit of B-Sector. We did a little bit of trending news, celebrity news, YouTube news, content creator beefs and shit like that. So again, please make sure you like and share the video. I appreciate you guys. Please and thank you so much. Again, for our weekly From the Block to the Hood Table show with Riggs and I, we will not be live tomorrow because it's Easter. So we'll be on my platform next Sunday. And then the week after, we'll be on Riggs' platform. And then after that, we're going to take our break from the second season. Season 2 will be over after 2 more shows. And then we're going to take a hiatus, take a break, get refreshed. And we're going to come back weeks later. We'll let you know when we'll be back, but it'll be for season 3. And again, those who have supported us, Especially our day ones, we got things for you. I'm working out things for you. A way to give back to our supporters, whether it's a cash app or whether it's an actual prize, an actual gift, some crafts that I make, like t-shirts and coffee mugs, tumblers, things like that. So that's what I'm going to be working on while I'm on our break. Hey, Tweety, how you doing, boo? Hey. But yeah, while we are on our break, after our two last shows of From the Block to the Hood Table, Riggs and I are going to take a break. And during that break, I'm going to be working on the gifts and the prizes and stuff that I'm going to be making for you guys, for our supporters of our show, just to show you some appreciation and let you know that we really appreciate you. Because the Riggs and I always say, when it comes to our show, which does not focus on anything, too much B sector related, we might like discuss something like just a teensy weensy piece of something that might have happened, but we don't try to make it our content or make it our whole show or nothing. And we've been in this shit for a year now with our co-hosting show. So we're still gonna do our best to keep it like it is, discussing whatever we want to discuss, but trying to keep it at the, as far as B sector, a very minimum on our show. But so we always say that we know where we are, because a lot of times people always want to see the rah, they want to see the drama, they want to see the drags and gags, and that's not what we're doing too much of on our show, which is called From the Block to the Hood Table. So on that show in particular, we do appreciate those who do support us and do come over there and share out our lives and hit our panels every time we go live. We appreciate you guys. But again, on that note, please make sure if you want to donate to my platform, feel free. It's $ the hood table 402. That's the Cash App. Or you can send a super chat, to the super chat. I do want to give a thank you because I did receive a Cash App the other day. Let me pull it up. Okay. Matter of fact, I did send a heart back too. So, sometimes I don't see my Cash Apps right away. So forgive me if you send me a Cash App and you don't get like a heart back or something right away. It's not because I'm ignoring you, child. It's definitely not that. It's because I don't check my Cash Apps all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so because of that, sometimes I might be like a day late or, something like that as far as, sending me a Cash App. But I want to give out a shout out to John who sent me a Cash App. And also, who was it? Somebody else. Gemini. Thank you, Gemini, and thank you, John. I appreciate you guys so much for the Cash App. I really do appreciate you guys. Taylor, also Taylor. Thank you, Boo. I appreciate you too for the Cash App. Thank you so much for the Cash App, you guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's always a blessing to receive you know we don't be over here, constantly hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. I don't see my Cash App. I don't hear my Cash App. We don't do all that over here. I just appreciate a like and a share. You know what I'm saying? But if the spirit moves you to donate, we appreciate that too. All right. But on that note, make sure you please again like and share the video. We are on our road. We are on the road to 9K. So please like and share the video. Stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.